All right, God damn it. I'm not even gonna put a freaking thumbnail on this one. That was annoying. Jesus. I'm suing the internet. Suing the whole internet for that. The entire internet's getting sued. Expect a letter at your door. If you're the internet, you're getting sued. All right? Tired of all this bullshit shenanigans. We the people need to fight back. We deserve equal internet at all times. I want, at this point, Comcast and all the other internets need to just put it right into my brain. All you internets out there are getting sued. I need a constant feed, uninterrupted, never stopping. I have to have internet in my brain at all times, or I can't function as a human being. And I'm suing you for it. This has got to be, I'm suffering damages. I had 200 people in here suffering damages. I'm suing the fucking internet, the whole internet. Disrupting my life and my business. Jesus. Freaking Christ. Yeah, I can't think without internet. I mean, where do I get my thoughts from if I don't have internet? Where do they even come from? You can't have thoughts without other people thinking them. Jeez. What do you expect me to think for myself? Fucking crazy. I'm suing you for that. You can't make me think for myself. Who do you think you are, internet? Who do you think you are? Jeez. I'm entitled to everything on the internet. I'm entitled to my time on the internet. It's emotional damage. That's right, Catherine. It's emotional damage. It hurt me. It hurt me to be without internet for fucking 10 minutes. It was, God, felt like a year. I was like having withdrawals. I didn't know what to do. I walked outside and I was like, where am I? You know? I was confused. I left my house. What the hell? Suing the whole internet. I left my house. I didn't even know where I was. Yeah, I'm never going to recover from that. I went 10 minutes without internet. Can any of you say that? Didn't think so. 10 minutes? I think somebody deserves 10 years in jail for that. That's a deprivation of rights. Like I said, I couldn't even think for myself. Or I couldn't even have someone think for me in that time. It was insane. All right, I think I've ran that joke into the ground at this point. Yeah. So should we finish the senator video? Oh yeah, the email. That's right. I do have this video pulled up. Yeah, let's check that out. Let me bring it over here. Volros, thank you for the Starlink donation. I think I do need to get something else because it's kind of insane. Like it's literally every other day that I get an internet interruption, and it would be fine if I wasn't streaming, but this is twice that has happened in the middle of a stream. That sucks. But we do have this other video that who sent this? Because your email is not the same as your chat thing. So thank you to whoever sent this. Who said that? Oh, was it does not equal? Okay. Well, we got this video. We can check this out. I haven't seen this. He said to skip past all the lawyer talking, but I don't know. I think we should check out the commentary too. I like to hear what attorneys have to say about stuff and see if I agree with it or not.
I don't answer questions. I'm not doing like 100.
Hold on. What kind of a blur was that?
How fast are we going? I don't.
You could see his whole freaking face right here. Who are you? Oh, maybe they're just blurring the passenger. Okay. I'm just being an idiot.
Answer questions. I'm not doing like 106. He's like weaving around traffic and shit. He doesn't answer questions. He doesn't answer questions. He's driving somebody else's car, but he won't tell me who that person is. You need to step back in your vehicle. The traffic stop's open. Correct. Can I get your business? And you're over here with a firearm flashing right at me.
So why is this police officer so afraid of a firearm flashing at him? This kid must have read my book. I don't answer questions. That's the only thing you should ever say to a police officer.
Hey, shout out to anyone who writes a book about interacting with law enforcement, because as someone who's done it, it's hard and it takes a long time. And so shout out to Dr. Judge here for writing that book.
Who ask you a question? The most common trick that a police officer will do is what he did in this case. When he walked up there, he told
33rd, my man. Trust me, I didn't run. The internet kicked me off. All right. They got scared of what I was about to do. I'm not running from the internet. I'm suing y'all. Suing everybody on the internet. You can't kick me out of the internet. All right. I ain't going anywhere.
him why he stopped him and said, "Do you know how fast you were going?" Because he wanted him to admit to speeding. The bad news for this cop is this guy read my book. Let's watch and see how that turns out for him.
Court is now in session.
It would be hilarious if that was all that was in the book. Like you open the book and it's just the title. That's really all you need to learn, right?
Good evening. I'm Deputy Hackler with Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office. The reason I was pulling you over is you were going a little fast down there on Arapahoe Road. It's 45 and you're going way fast. Okay. Do you know how fast you were going? I don't answer questions.
Boom. Boom. That's when you say that. When they ask you something incriminating, you say, "I don't answer questions." That perfect. Great way to respond.
You don't answer questions?
No. Here's my registration license, and I'm building my insurance right now.
Okay, perfect.
And he's got his documents ready to go. I mean, wait a minute. I just got an email. Okay, an advertisement. Okay, so it says, "Hey, John, I suffered through your internet loss as well. What a tragedy." So I already have key witnesses to my lawsuit. All right. I've already have key witnesses. I'm going to bring in some internet experts and you guys are fucked. All right. I'm going to pay some guy $5,000 to come in here and say that the internet was being mean and wouldn't let me be on it. And then the rest of this is about a company that uses multicellular connections from multiple providers to give you reliable connections. So maybe we'll team up and sue them and put them out of business. We're going to sue the internet and the internet's going to be out of business. What do you think of that? Direct D also sent me a message. All right. All right, let's continue the video.
Well, I had to do 103 to catch up to you from Piccadilly and all the way up to Buckley's before I caught up to you. Did you?
Look, this doesn't make sense in my mind, really. how cops can say, I had to speed up to 103 to catch up with you, as if that's like some kind of indication of your a direct indication of your speed. Okay, well, you can choose to speed up to any speed beyond my speed to catch up to me. So if I'm going 40 and you want to catch up to me, well, you can go 103 to do that, but that doesn't mean that you had to. So, I'm always weary of that statement. And I think it's kind of like doesn't say much at all about the person you're pursuing's speed. So anyway,
You clocked me on radar, or
No.
Oh, so you didn't clock me?
No.
You just caught up to me.
Mhm.
Okay, I understand.
Visually, I estimated your speed around like 65.
a visual estimation. Yeah. Okay. And I think in order for that to even matter, he'd probably have to be traffic certified specifically for estimating speed. Could be wrong on that, but Domineer, you did this? You did it with your fucking voodoo kit, dude? You bastard. You bastard. I knew somebody was behind this. The internet wasn't working alone. Well, consider yourself a co-defendant. You're fucked now, buddy.
It's not my car.
It's not your car. Can you pull that up again?
Yep.
Who's
I don't answer questions.
okay?
Is that without insurance good?
Huh? Can you pull up again? All right, I'll be right back.
You see how the cop looked at this guy when he said, I don't answer questions? He was stunned by it. I am shocked that police officers are still stunned by this response. I don't answer questions should be on the tip of everybody's tongue when they get pulled over by a police officer. This kid does it perfectly. If you recall, the officer said, I had to do 103 miles an hour to catch up to you. He tells the police officer that backs him up in a few minutes that he did 106. So which was it, 103 or 106? It doesn't matter if you did 103 or 106 miles an hour to catch up with this guy. That doesn't mean that he's speeding. So let's just lay that out there, first of all. So this cop
Hell
was
yeah.
really fit.
Hell yeah. Couldn't agree more. It's almost like I just said that. That's great. You missed well, I still have the senator video pulled up. We can finish that. But we had I got interrupted because I had to file my lawsuit for the internet. But we can definitely do that. But yeah, it's cool to say things that an attorney then immediately says. I like that.
For him to admit that he was speeding. This guy never does. And what this cop doesn't know yet is this guy actually has a dash cam that records his speed. Yikes. Wonder how that works out for this cop.
This guy doesn't answer questions.
He's right about, Dr. Judge, I'm assuming, the guy who creates this content. Yeah, Dr. Judge. I agree with him, and I think that the cop, the way he's saying he doesn't answer questions, as if that's like a hostile response. That's just a normal response. And cops need to quit treating that as if someone's being uncooperative or hostile towards them. Just exercising a right is not meant to be confrontational. You're the one making it confrontational. Okay.
At all?
That's what he says.
Is he on the phone with his girlfriend
So the
or
cop
what?
is on the phone with a girl who's just basically talking to him while he does his job. I don't know if it's
Me and Dr. Judge, we have the same channel going on. We're like minds.
his wife or his girlfriend or who it is. So he's conversating with this girl and he's still shocked that this guy doesn't answer questions.
I asked him if he knew how fast he was going because I had to do over 100 to catch up to him.
How about you don't just spill the beans on shit that you're investigating to some random person that has nothing to do with it? This has got to be a policy violation. You can't just be on your fucking phone the whole time you're at work, dude. That's distracting. Come on.
And he says, I don't answer questions.
Like any sane person
Yeah.
should.
Yeah, that's nice.
Hmm. And then he's driving a car that's not his. And I asked him who this person is, and he says, I don't answer questions.
Oh, we got more damages pouring in. Dave Mid, your loss of internet made me feel uncomfortable, so I called the police to let them know you are harassing me. All right, we're adding damages to the lawsuit at this point. It's going to be huge. I mean, I can't see a jury not ruling in my favor. This is going to be the biggest lawsuit that the internet has ever seen. It's going to involve the entire internet. The whole apparatus for the third time today is going down. We're bringing it down. It's over. Thank you for the $5, brother. That's going to go straight to the legal fund. If you want to donate to my lawsuit, I'm going to set up a GoFundMe for my lawsuit against the internet. If you guys, look, we've raised thousands of dollars over the years for ATA, for many different people's lawsuits. I mean, come on, guys. You can chip in for one of my own, I'm suing the whole internet. I'm going to need all the help I can get. It's going to be, I'm sure the whole internet has a lot of legal resources on their side. It's going to be an uphill battle, but with your help, we can get there,
This could get interesting.
Gonna be huge. Exactly.
What's up, dude? All I was doing is flying past. I was heading eastbound. He was heading westbound. Flipped around, and I was almost to Liverpool, like Piccadilly area.
Piccadilly.
So I turn around, try to catch up to him. I'm like doing like 106, trying to catch up to him. I don't catch up to him till like Buckley, and he's like weaving around traffic and shit.
Oh, shit.
So,
It has begun. The entire landscape of digital media is going to be changed after this, so prepare yourselves. Domineer is gonna he's announced the revolution. It has officially begun.
for speeding and reckless. He doesn't answer questions, by the way.
What?
He doesn't answer questions. He's driving somebody else's car, but he won't tell me
That's hilarious, Bond
who
Girl.
that person is.
Michelle, hold on a second. Michelle, I owe you a book. You won a random drawing for a copy of the Civilian Rights Hand Guide, which I have somewhere, that you didn't email me about. Send me an email. And let me know where to send this book to and who to address it to. Here's my email address. I've been waiting to see you in the chat because I owe you a book. So hit me up.
And honestly, why does it matter who that person is? The car's not reported stolen. Why do you really care whether or not he tells you who that person is?
Hey, Liquid Flame, don't start poking holes in the case, man. You're supposed to be on my side here, all right? Don't start prodding my case now. All right? We're supposed to be building a narrative. And that's against it. Calm down, all right? Jeez, we can't be helping the internet. Stop, dude, stop. Just stop making sense, dude. Can't do that. Yeah, we don't answer questions.
They're recording on Their cell phones right now.
Huh?
They're recording on their cell phones right now. Just so you know.
Yeah, he's on big money side. Everybody be careful. Watch out for liquid play.
Huh?
Sorry, I didn't realize you were doing that. In
The one in the
confidence.
passenger seat.
We're building a narrative.
Here's your documents back.
Okay.
All right, like I said, I visually estimated you at 65 and a
You
45.
visually estimated me?
Yeah, when I was going westbound or eastbound, you were going westbound. You flew past me.
Yeah, because he knows that's a fucking joke. Visual estimation. Mm-hmm.
And you
Yes.
didn't clock me with any sort of radar
No,
or any sort
it
of
was
equipment.
visual, but you were definitely going.
When is
too
the last
fast.
time that your eyes have been calibrated?
Hold
It
on.
doesn't.
Let me see this case law. It says U.S. versus Sowards. Visual estimation of speed based exclusively on an officer's visual estimate, uncorroborated by radar or pacing, and unsupported by any of the indicia of reliability. Okay, that's interesting that it's going back to that. Indicia of reliability. We've heard that doctrine quite a few times in various contexts. So it's not probable cause, according to this. According to someone's interpretation of this. Yeah, when's the last time your eyes were calibrated? That's funny.
Matter about
Bullshit.
my eyes.
Okay.
I've been trained.
You've
to
been
visual-
trained?
Yeah,
Okay.
to visually
I'm
estimate.
going to go to court for this.
That's fine.
I'll fight it.
So I'm citing you for speeding 20.
I wonder if he has been trained for visual estimations. That makes me wonder, like, what training would you get for visual estimations? Like, how do you train for that? And what are you doing? Just like going out and like looking at two cars trying to guess what their speeds are? Like, how? What do you do?
Plus in a 45. Okay. And reckless driving because there was other cars that you're driving past, weaving in and around traffic.
Weaving in around the traffic. Okay. I have a dash cam, by the way.
That's fine.
That records my speed.
So you should have seen that other car that you cut off right before you went to the light when I
I had
finally
a
caught up
blinker
to
on. I didn't cut them off. I had plenty of space.
you. Okay, that's fine. Either way,
I think this cop got a little nervous when he found out this kid has a dash cam. Remember, this cop has never said how fast he was going. He doesn't know how fast he was going. He estimated his speed at over 20 miles an hour, which I don't think he's going to be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. I don't believe I would have said that about when have you had your eyes calibrated. That's a little antagonistic. I don't advise
No,
being
it's funny.
antagonistic with police. Read my book.
No, he's right though. You know, he's saying the same shit that I always say on ATA, which is, you know, being a smart ass is not going to get you anywhere when you are in front of a judge or jury. So just, it's always, I know where he's coming from with this, but that was a hilarious thing to say in the moment.
I don't answer questions is really all you ever have to say. I don't answer questions.
No, so I think the way it actually works to, you know, I was just kind of joking before, but I believe the way that you can actually train for that is using markers and measuring time. So, and then you can look at your own speed to determine. So, for example, I know that there's some kind of equation where you can look at something moving and measure a distance between and have a reference measurement of a distance between 2 points and determine the speed of that thing. So you don't, you know, necessarily there is math to it, like people were saying in the chat. I think it is possible, but it's still silly. And to think that, yeah, that Pariah was saying that earlier, to think that an officer is going to be doing that is kind of silly instead of just saying that they estimated the speed. You know what I mean? So sorry for the delay on what? On funding my lawsuit? Because that's what you guys are doing right now. Maybe after I get the GoFundMe up, you guys won't think it's so funny anymore. Because I'm sure the whole internet's going to want me to sue the internet. You know what I mean? Anyway, this is we only got like 3 minutes left of this video, so let's finish it out, and then we'll finish the insane senator that broke into her stepmom's house for pictures.
Without a lawyer. 7 words. It's very easy. This kid does a great job at that. He does talk to him a little bit, but he's basically just chastising this officer for pulling him over for speeding because he visually estimated his speed at over 20 miles an hour. This cop's going to have a hard time in court. You're going to find out something at the end of this video.
No worries.
And I won't spoil it.
Your court date is going to be Monday, October 7th, 2024 at 2 p.m. I will be there.
For sure.
Arapahoe County Combined Court. It's down there. There's the address right there. All right. I just need a signature from you right here saying that you'll show up to court.
Not an admission of guilt?
Nope.
No problem.
This
Right here?
guy's watching body camera footage for sure.
There's my signature autograph. There
Perfect. Here's your citation.
You go. No problem. And
Drive
can I get
safe.
your business card?
My name's on there.
I can't get your business card. Can I get yours, sir?
Drive safe.
Very legitimate request. Can I have your business card? The officer is mad because he basically stood up to him and he didn't answer questions and he made his job harder. So this officer got pissed and he's not going to be cordial with him. He's not going to give him his business card, even though he probably has a departmental policy that requires him to identify himself if he's asked to do so. All my information's on the ticket. You know, guess what? I said spoiler alert earlier. He didn't turn this ticket in. This guy ultimately decided, I better not fight with this guy in court because I really don't know for sure if.
What a cheeseball of a cop. All that, making a big deal about him, invoking his right to silence and, just being as antagonistic as he could. And he didn't even show up to court. What a cheeseball. Welcome, Duckatee. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you being here. What did you say, Stimpy? The internet is a design by the military-industrial complex to benefit the military. They will come after you if you sue, John. They will paint you as the next Bin Laden. You know what? I'm not scared. I'm not afraid of the internet. Like I said, I have a legitimate case against them, so they're fucked. They're totally fucked. So the rest of this video is just this attorney analyzing it, which I think we'll probably just end up saying a bunch of the same things. So I don't know if we should even bother with that. We'll go to this instead. Yeah, so it's pretty clear that that cop was full of shit, or else he would have showed up for court. Because it's not that hard, to, you're really just rolling the dice as a police officer if you let the courts figure it out, My RAM's starting to go crazy again. I swear, I'm so sick of computer and internet problems. It's so annoying. Why is my CPU going ape shit right now? I'm starting to really believe that I'm starting to think Stimpy was right. Maybe I should chill out about suing the internet. It seems like the government's not happy about that. They're getting to me, guys. Next thing you know, I'm going to come on this stream and start selling trifolds. Sorry if you can hear my computer sounding like a jet engine in the background right now. Yeah, I'm going to sue this computer too. Everybody's getting sued. All right. Let's finish this video and then we're going to... Oh, you can't hear it? That's good. Because it's loud to me. I can hear it through my headphones. Sounds like a jet. The problem is it's not effective cooling. It's air-based, which is bad. And I'm learning that now. Anyway, we'll go back a little bit just so we can catch up to what's happening and where we left off. Let's get into it. Dennis. Oh yeah, the CPU is getting named in the lawsuit for sure. It's a expert witness, I think, or a what do you call an important witness? I forgot. A key witness. There's another word for that too. I'm not thinking of it right now, but yeah, this computer's fucked, along with the internet. This is gonna be huge. Thank you for the $20, man. I'm gonna John Wick the internet. That's right. They took my internet. All right.
So the only thing I found in that bag was 2 laptops. Do you have a laptop in here?
Right.
I have 2 laptops.
Okay, so she claimed she was there to get some mementos, right? She was there to get some pictures, and what was the other thing she said? I can't even remember what she said. But what do you think? Maybe she was trying to steal their internets. Yeah. Yeah, 2 laptops. I think that she was trying to get a shirt. That's right. That's what it was. Her dad's shirt. Yeah, I think she was trying to get her dad's account information. I don't think that he had a t-shirt on that laptop she was going after.
Laptops that had unplugged, mine and my husband's.
You have 2 laptops.
I had to.
Where are they at?
I don't know.
Do you want to go look for them? Do you know where they were at?
No, I don't even know. I'm also not.
Do you know what they look like?
They're just little laptops.
Would you know if I showed you?
Maybe.
Okay. I'll go get them. What else?
I have I call it the tin box. It's a metal steel gray box that's always had all the legal documents in it.
Okay.
That's what they broke into before. Had her aunt do it. And stole a bunch of stuff out of there. And so I was just looking for that.
Okay.
I can't find that anywhere. But
just want to put the knife away for me?
So what got you to this stage where you thought this was
the ashes, I think.
the ashes?
My cousin died in November, and my aunt drove all the way out here to get the ashes per an agreement.
Okay.
Just to get here to be told, no, never mind.
And so you're here to get
A couple months.
said pictures.
Wait, okay, I'm confused about this. Is she, what does her cousin's death have to do with this? I thought this was about her dad. Where did the cousin come into this? This is a totally separate ashes and civil issue, but I don't get it. She's bringing up this random shit that's totally irrelevant to her breaking in the house. Yeah, I agree, Jester. That it does sound like deflection.
Shirt and ashes.
Well, the ashes got buried before anyone got them. I just wanted to get a couple things before anything else gets.
Have you tried to talk to her before this?
It sounds like an ex-boyfriend, possibly PTSD.
We had a fight over the ashes situation, and she at least right now wouldn't talk to me. It's just gotten progressively worse.
How long has it been since you last talked to her?
Month.
All right, so right now you're under arrest for burglary, okay?
Even if I didn't take anything?
So you broke in the house with an attempt to murder.
Yeah, you don't have to steal shit for it to be burglary. If you break into someone's house, that's burglary. Are you kidding me? Did this just happen again? Wait a minute. Okay. I don't know why my Google just timed out like that. I thought the internet went out again. I was about to double the lawsuit, ladies and gentlemen. We were about to have a class action lawsuit against the internet at this point. Jesus. I'm freaking out. Look, this is damages right here. I'm paranoid about it. My Chrome just decided to refresh itself for whatever reason, and it freaked me out. I'm emotionally scarred. I have paranoia, this PTSD. I'm never going to recover from that 10 minutes without internet. This is insane. I'm not even the same person anymore. My brain isn't working. Okay, thank goodness you can still see me. Yeah, I do need to stop using Chrome. And you're right, it is a RAM eater. It just, but for whatever reason, when that refreshed, my RAM stopped freaking out so bad. So I can turn this jet engine down a hair. Unfortunately, Mike, I did have to touch grass. I like I said, I went outside. I had no idea where I was. It was very disorienting, and I feel damaged. So that's going to be part of the lawsuit. There was sun hitting my skin. There was sun hitting my skin. Ugh, shudder at the thought. Ugh, I don't know how I survived it. Somehow we made it. And we're back. Anyway. Yeah, you're going to jail for burglary, lady. You don't have to steal shit to be a burglar. Especially not when you look like this. You look like a burglar. You're a burglar. Yeah, we're going to sue the son, too. That was part of this whole problem.
Been a crime, so that's burglary. I mean, you're definitely dressed for it, and I understand your situation.
Yeah, even the cop said, "Yeah, you're definitely dressed for it. You look like the most stereotypical burglar I've ever seen."
I mean, there's other ways to try to go through it.
The door off and on, trying to get in.
She Mirandized.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Nicole.
Are those laptops in your backpack yours?
Yes.
Okay. She's saying she's missing 2 laptops.
I mean, I can show you one. It's got my kid's Minecraft game on it.
What's the other one for?
I have one for work.
Okay. And then she's saying,
Why would you bring 2 laptops to a burglary? I don't understand. It doesn't even make sense for, like, if you were trying to steal data, because, like, you don't need 2 laptops for that. I just don't believe that they're hers. Yeah, there's no way they're hers. Domineer, pee your pants and you'll win your case. Emotional damage. Already did. When I went outside, I was freaking out so bad it just happened. I don't know what to say. So yeah, we'll jot that down. All my paralegals in the chat, be sure you're taking notes on all the claims that we have against the internet, because we're gonna need that. You know, we're filing a formal lawsuit. Was that me with John Freeman or James Freeman? I wasn't with James Freeman, but I did call the people that were with him to see if there was anything I could do to help. I've talked to him since then, and I'm sure we'll talk again soon. I actually thought about calling him after this stream just to see what was going on with all that. But anyway, back to the video. Let's find out if these laptops are actually hers, which I highly doubt.
and something about a tin box. It was in question last time. So
I literally had just got in the house. I hadn't had time to do it.
Hey, to be fair, I'm only half ginger. You know, my hair is dark, the beard's red. Some people say that that's a rare genetic thing. That's what fucking what's the DNA thing? I forget what the DNA thing. I have a lot of Scottish heritage. That's where the beard comes from.
Anything.
okay.
I'm clearly not good at this, but
Yeah.
I know this sounds like an excuse.
23andMe.
She has Alzheimer's.
Thanks,
She's been misplacing things. I can show you texts going back months saying, you know, things are missing, this and that.
I'm just asking. So it's not a reason to break anybody's heart.
Yeah, see, like she's saying, I committed a crime over a civil matter, is what she's saying. You know, like I said earlier, before the internet tried to take me down, there are civil processes for this kind of shit. Just take her to court. Don't break into her house and commit a crime. No amount of your like civil justification is going to be good enough for the crime you committed.
False.
No, that wasn't my intention.
Already. I got an ID, but I don't know if it means anything, but she's a state senator. I'm back. The laptops, the story she gave me is pretty good for work and her kids, but it's going into our evidence. So if something does change, we'll get it back to you. So last time she was after papers. Like, can I just ask the significance of those papers?
When the two aunts came here, they took all kinds of legal forms. I had, my husband just died. I had the tin box sitting right now here because I was going through it.
Okay, well, Michelle, I just want to make sure you got my message about emailing me. Since you said your internet went out, please email me. Claim your copy of the Civilian Rights Hand Guide. You won a copy recently in a random drawing. Email me. It's pinned in the chat.
Trying to find out what I was supposed to do, and I was totally on. The box was wide open, and when I came out, there were
you did send it.
Papers and stuff scattered all over the floor, and the two gals were both walking out with Nancy and Cindy with papers down the front sidewalk to their vehicle. And I said, "Where are you going? What do you got?" And they said, "It's okay, Carol. Don't worry. We're just trying to help you and get this legal business all straightened out for we know you're upset."
Do you know why she would want those papers? Like, what would benefit her from having those papers?
My husband didn't have an actual will.
Oh, okay. So you think it's for like inheritance stuff?
Yes. Okay. It was bank papers. It was all bank papers at the check, basically.
Yeah, I might have to get going because there's another active burglary in Frazee. So.
Thank you.
Damn, how many burglaries they got going on at once? I don't want to live in this town. What the hell?
So there's a discrepancy with the laptops. Are you able to sign into those laptops?
I'm sorry, what?
Will you be able to sign into those laptops?
Yes.
Okay. There's the first one.
Oh, this should be interesting. I mean, this right here is going to make or break her. If she can't get into these laptops, she's going to be real fucked. So, I don't know. Let's take bets. Who thinks she's going to get in there and who thinks she doesn't?
Okay, how come that's Carol's name?
Oh, wait a minute. She did sign in, but whose name is on the laptop? It's Carol.
On it.
It was one that she had given me way back when to use for the kids.
Well, she's missing 2 laptops. That's what she said. So I'm taking this laptop. How about this one? Okay, that one's got your name on it. Okay.
This lady took her work laptop to a burglary. She took her work laptop to a burglary. Why? Why?
That one will stay with your property, but I am taking this one.
That's fine.
Did you try shoving that backpack out and it didn't go out?
I want to answer your questions.
You don't have.
Wow, that's the most intelligent thing she said this whole video. Yeah.
Dude, like you understood your rights, so.
Maybe I shouldn't.
Okay, it's okay. Put you back in here. Appreciate you working with that. So.
Curve it off.
Nicole Mitchell, who has served as a Minnesota state senator first elected in 2023 and before was a lieutenant colonel in the Air National Guard, was charged with first-degree burglary, which is a felony, as well as possession of burglary tools. Mitchell was a Minnesota state senator at the time of her arrest and refused to resign after the incident. She accused her mother-in-law of suffering from paranoia about break-ins and senility. She also refused the release of the body cam footage. After her arrest, she posted on social media changing her story that she claimed in the body cam footage, instead of saying she was there to take possession of her.
Let's read this. So, like so many families, mine is dealing with the pain of watching a loved one decline due to Alzheimer's and associated paranoia. Over the weekend, I learned of medical information which caused me grave concern and prompted me to check on that family member. I entered a home I've come and gone from countless times in the past 20 years where my son even once had his own room. Unfortunately, I startled this close relative, exacerbating paranoia, and I was accused of stealing, which I absolutely deny. Thank you to all my friends and colleagues of both parties for the kind words of support and for trusting my character even before I had a chance to respond. This has been a true tragedy to our family, and my hope is that we can return this to being a private matter. What? I mean, what? Okay, let's break this down for a second. If you knew that someone was suffering from Alzheimer's, right? You know somebody has this. Why would you dress up like a burglar to go to her house? Why would you break into the fucking window to get in? And clearly, with the way this woman was acting, I don't think she has Alzheimer's, at least not to the degree that is causing her undue paranoia. It seems to me like this bitch is just trying to make her stepmom out to be crazy to justify her insane behavior. This is like an epic level of gaslighting. It's just insane. I can't believe that she still has her job.
Father's mementos, her social media post claims she was there to simply check on her stepmother due to her health issues, and she startled her, essentially putting the blame on the stepmother's medical problems. This, however, doesn't line up with the fact that she was wearing the most cliche burglar outfit she possibly could have.
Hey, shout out to Midwest Safety for that. Yeah, I know, right? Oh, hold on. Here's another statement. She can't elaborate. She's extremely disappointed. The complaint lacks complete information, including important context that she's known this person since for a very long time, which I don't think anyone's disputing, which actually means that you had even less of a reason to break in there because you've been there, you know the place, you know the person, and you know that that's not an appropriate way to go into their damn house. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I think we get what she's saying here.
She then put out a statement saying she has no intention of resigning from her seat in the Senate. However, in mid-July 2025, things took an unexpected turn for her.
New today, a Minnesota state senator found guilty of burglarizing her stepmother's home.
Boom. Guilty verdict. I wonder if let's see if that has any effect on her position, though.
Has officially resigned. This is Nicole Mitchell. Police body cam video shows the moment officers found her in her stepmom's basement, dressed in all black, in the middle of the night. She testified during her trial she was checking on her stepmom, not stealing from her. A jury disagreed, finding her guilty. Today on her Facebook page, Mitchell thanked her family, friends, and...
Boom. I'm stepping down from my Minnesota State Senate seat today. But I cannot do that without expressing my gratitude. Thank you, everyone. You're welcome. Bye. See you later.
And constituents who, quote, trusted her to work on their behalf. She says it's been an honor to serve Minnesota and her community.
Ultimately, more than a year later after the arrest, she was unanimously convicted by a jury, and at that point, she resigned her seat. Governor Tim Walz has issued a special election on November 4th, 2025 for an opportunity to fill Mitchell's seat. Mitchell's sentencing date has been set for September 10th, 2025 at 10 a.m. in Becker County District Court in Detroit Lakes, Minnesota.
And they're not going to go easy on her ass. I can tell you that right now. Because I would say not only are the people of that state going to be fucking pissed, but this is kind of like an affront to the entire judicial and political systems. And I highly doubt that anytime the judicial branch gets a chance to put a smackdown on a politician that they're going to try to. And it doesn't seem to me like she's very well connected because just getting charged with this says a lot. So I don't know if she's going to get away with a slap on the wrist for this.
Senator?
Yeah, was
Or is currently?
She is. I meant after this.
And just one more betrayal that never makes the news. Some criminals kick in doors, but others find ways to slide around them. And that's what makes this kind of act so dangerous because it's...
All right. I mean, Do I remember who's president? I don't know. I didn't have access to the internet for like 10 minutes, and I forgot most of what's going on. Yeah, so I just can't imagine thinking that that was a legitimate way to go about doing that. I mean, that woman was fucking stupid. I mean, what other way can you characterize as that kind of behavior other than just dumb? That was just dumb. I mean, I couldn't imagine thinking that. I just don't follow the logic there. You know what I mean? All right. I got one more video for us. It was that video I showed you at the beginning. I'm in for big news. I got another email. All right, let's see this. What do we got? Oh, we've watched this one. Mav, whoever sent me that, I'm not going to say your full email name or anything, but we did watch this one on the stream already. But we do have this video that was originally posted. Let me share this instead. That was originally posted to BPcast channel about a cop not knowing that felons can be on probation instead of prison, I guess. Drink thief video? Which one? What is that? Do I have anything like that pulled up? No. Okay, here's the full video. I just wanted to let you guys know that that was on BPcast channel. And I guess this will be the last video for today as well, because I got to get busy filing my lawsuit against the internet. I'm going to need your guys' help with that. So, like I said, take notes, paralegals, as I'm going through this. There's a reason I pay you guys $5,000 an hour, you know, to be here. What's up, Christus? All right, let's get into this one. Do it, Sandy.
What you got, brother?
Car registration 20.
Wait, is it Christus Beach or Christie's Beach? Have I been reading that wrong this whole time?
20. He has that. Look to him. So there wasn't nothing on the table. I'm checking for blood bonds.
Did you get consent or no?
No, I haven't asked for it.
Volume's all the way up.
How you doing, sir?
What's up, brother?
I'm off your phone, man. Your tag is swearing like a motherfucker, man.
Yeah, well, I just explained to him that I got the my title and everything right here.
Yeah.
I then went down there, got that.
How old was the Midwest Safety video? I'm not sure, but it wasn't that old. I think it was like maybe a week ago.
Station.
I could be wrong on that.
What does the title got to do with the tags, though?
Because you got to get it registered.
So you just bought the car or what?
No, I've been had it, but
you wasn't registered?
No. You see right there how it says the survivorship rights or whatever? This man right here died, and he never signed the title right here. She signed the back of it.
Who's she?
The lady, LaDonna Stravos.
Gotcha.
And but because he didn't sign the title, they said I had to get his death certificate, and you can't just go get somebody's death certificate without being like first of kin or something like that, you know. So,
gotcha.
What's
your name, big dog?
My name's Kyle.
All right. Well, Kyle, I understand your situation. And something you guys may not know about me, and this is a good opportunity, I guess, to tell you something personal, is that I have a dealer's license for dealing cars. I just got that earlier this year. It took me about a a year to go through the whole process to get that. But the reason that I got that is because before I started this whole YouTube thing, several years ago, when I was in my 20s, like mid 20s, how I made money was buying and selling cars all the time, but in a private capacity. So I would buy a car, flip it on Facebook Marketplace. I did that for quite a while without a dealer's license. That's illegal. Okay. You can't, that's called jumping a title. And you have to pay the taxes for purchasing a car before you can sell it again. So what I'm getting at here is that it's, just because you have some reason that you're, a title problem doesn't mean that you can just drive around with no registration or an expired registration. So this is I said all that to say that this is probably a lawful stop. So just the thing about it is that you can usually file, at least in some states, you can file for a lost title and it not be a big deal to get it from someone who is passed away. So you don't necessarily have to have the death certificate. And granted, I don't know what state this is in. It's in Texas. Okay. So I don't know what the actual laws in Texas are, but from my experience anyway, if this were to be a situation where you bought a car from someone who had passed away, what you could do is, instead of trying to get the title that you have for the car registered and valid, you could instead file for a new title, which would then the state would send a letter to the individual who the title is currently under. And if they didn't reply within so many days, usually 30 to 90 days, the state will just issue you the title for the car, especially if you have a bill of sale. So he could have done this a different route. And this sounds like a lame excuse to me. Well, but to answer y'all's question, why I have a dealer's license and how many cars I have out in my driveway, I actually don't have that many. And the biggest reason I have them, it's really just a pastime at this point. Like if I see a good deal, I'll snatch it up. And, I have a separate bank account set up. It's like a legitimate dealership essentially, except I don't have a lot. I have a lot, but I don't keep a rotation of cars. I just do one at a time every now and then, kind of a side hustle. If YouTube falls apart for me one day, you'll probably see a car lot that I am owning or participating in some capacity, because that is another thing. I think my knowledge about certain things I know quite a lot about cars, quite a lot about constitutional law, and quite a lot about alien ufology too, which is we'll talk about that another time. But so yeah, back to this video. It sounds like a lame excuse. This looks like a lawful traffic stop.
Yeah. Have you ever been over for a call?
Yeah.
Or
Years ago. I mean, what's the deal here?
Look. I ask everybody this question, so I'm just asking you a question. I'm not just
Look, man,
fucking with you and just be like, "What's up with you?"
I'm just now getting in from work, so I'm trying to go home right now.
I got you.
So.
I'm just asking you a question though.
What's up?
What have you been in jail for?
What have I been in jail for?
That's what I'm asking you.
I mean, a couple things. I mean, you can run my criminal history and it'll show you everything.
Okay. So the attitude.
I don't have an attitude, brother. I'm trying to get home. This is like, I already got an outstanding ticket in Woodville for the registration deal. So this is like the third time. I just got pulled over by Unalaska the other night. They gave me a warning because I provided all my information and whatnot. So, this is like the third time now I'm dealing with this within the time I've even been able to deal with it for once,
Right, but then again, you drive a car, 4 years?
Yeah, look, you guys don't want me to start talking about aliens because I'll never fucking shut up about it. All right? I know you guys aren't here for that. So quit playing with my emotions. I'm going to name you in the lawsuit against the internet.
Checks outdated. You know what I'm saying? So
I got insurance, everything else is legit.
Honestly, Thomas, I pretty much agree with that, with what you're saying there.
Okay, I got you, but that's why you get pulled over.
And I'm trying to make it right though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It ain't like I'm not. I mean, I even went and got the inspection and everything. Like I said, I went down there to do the title application thing, and they said because I don't have his death certificate and he didn't sign it, that's my battle right now. I'm trying to get his family to go get some sort of death certificate or something that I could bring to the DMV to.
All right. So,
Mr. Riley, I'm going to ask you again. Is there anything illegal inside the vehicle?
No, sir.
Are you okay with us searching the vehicle? Okay, if I get a canine out here, is it going to alert on the vehicle?
No.
It shouldn't, or it's not?
No, it's not going to.
This isn't my first.
Okay, brother, do what you got to do. I'm not consenting to search. I'm ready to go home. Y'all do what y'all got to do.
Are we drifting into Rodriguez again with the whole wait for the canine? Come on, guys, do better. Do better. Just complete the traffic stop and move on. You don't have to pull a canine out to every traffic stop. You could do an audit or an audit on fake UFO videos. Well, that'd be like, yeah, honestly, there'd be a lot of content for that. But I will direct your attention to a channel, an individual named Mick West. If you're not very into the whole alien world, that community, there's a man named Mick West who does a fantastic job of debunking alien videos. And a lot of people in the alien community fucking hate him because he takes all the fun out of the alien stuff, but he is very good at his job.
So, let me ask you this. I asked you before, what have you been in jail for? You know, tell me.
I mean, I've been to jail.
I just pulled up, back my partner up. So
I've been to jail for. I mean,
I'm gonna start audit the internet after I sue the internet and win.
and all kind of stuff. You know.
Are you a felon, sir?
Conduct? Oh yeah.
For what?
Tampering with evidence.
Tampering with evidence.
Mm-hmm.
All right, come with the car from me real quick, though. Step with the car from me real quick.
What's the reason?
I'm ordering you to step out the vehicle. Put your phone down and step with the car from me real quick. I don't want to take you in for interference, all right? Put your hands on the tailgate right here. Put your hands on the tailgate. Put your hand back, bro. All right, bro. Just relax. You're doing too much. Step behind the vehicle real quick.
Like I said, I got a canine in the mouth. I'm going to run the canine over the vehicle. If it doesn't alert, I'll get you out of here with a warning.
I don't get why you got an attitude and acting belligerent, bro. Like,
I just want to point out that as of right now, it seems like there are 2 police officers on the scene. This is a traffic stop over some kind of registration violation. All right, it was expired. And both of the cops are just standing there while they're claiming they're waiting for a canine. I mean, this is that one of these cops should be doing something that is accomplishing the mission of this traffic stop right now, or else we're drifting into Rodriguez territory. So get your shit together. Somebody needs to start writing a ticket or something. You cannot just stand on the side of the road like this and wait for the canine. That's not how that works. Yeah. All right. I must have missed that, but apparently he was just told that they would get him out of there with a warning if the dog didn't alert. So they're clearly waiting for the dog before they do anything related to this traffic stop. So I'd say it's we're very much into Rodriguez territory at this point.
I ain't cussed y'all or did anything.
no, but listen, I was talking to you, and you got an attitude with me like we're not doing our
Because you're going to ask me questions that I already know that you know the answer to.
No, I ask everybody that question. I don't know who I'm speaking with, so I'm asking.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
No, I don't. Because when you run my name, it tells you what I've been in trouble for, does it not?
You're right.
Does it not?
You're right, bro. You're right. You don't want to run?
I don't get. Yeah, he's right. Like, just pull it up. Why are you asking him? Why don't you just pull it up? Quit being a fucking lazy motherfucker and just go pull it up if you really want to know.
Boss, you want to stick on that back seat?
Yeah, we can.
Are you pressing already or not? Yeah. Is that right from real quick?
I don't know what this pat down is all about either. Like, what What reason do they have to suspect that he might be armed and dangerous? They never mentioned anything about that. And they're clearly saying that they don't know what his criminal history is. That's why they're asking him about it, right? So I don't think this pat down is called for either.
This is what? Cigarettes, lighter. Can I check? Cigarettes, lighter.
Gave him consent there. Don't do that.
I don't understand what
You're just the same. Right?
No, I get that. I mean, I just fuck, man.
Come up here, quick. Come up here. Like I said, you're going with a tank on the arrest.
Yeah.
That would be funny to just start answering questions that they never asked. That would be hilarious. Like, where are you going tonight? I had McDonald's for dinner. Why are you asking that?
Oh shit, my head.
So you went to prison for how long for the temporary evidence
Oh, I didn't
charge?
go to prison.
I just asked you, are you a felon? And you said, yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't go to prison.
So a felon means if you're convicted of a felony crime.
No, I did probation, brother.
Okay, when I asked you, are you a
But I
felon?
didn't go to prison.
So a felon means
I'm
somebody
a
going to
convicted
prison.
felon, sir.
Wait. Does this cop really think that a felon has to go to prison? Has he been operating in his law enforcement capacity this whole time thinking that every time he charged someone with a felony that they were going to go to prison? This dude, I mean, how do you not know this as a cop? How do you not know this? I don't like is he really saying that the only way to become a felon is to go to prison? How can you be this detached from the result of your profession, from your line of work? This is what you do for a living, and you don't understand how felonies work or what they even are? Yeah, good point, Bond Girl. Some people can have 34 felonies and never go to prison and be in one of the highest positions in the entire world. What do you mean? This is crazy.
So what?
I'm a convicted felon.
For what though?
Tamper with evidence.
Do you know what that means? That you go to prison for a
No,
charge?
that is not.
This cop is
Sir, I did
an idiot.
5 years deferred. Then I had like a few months left. They violated it, and then they gave me 2 years felony probation, and I completed it.
Okay.
They violated for me for like non-payment type. But yeah, no, I'm a convicted felon, but I didn't go to prison. That's not what that means.
Hold up. Are you in paper right now?
No.
You in paper right now?
No. I haven't been in trouble. I haven't been in handcuffs like this since 2016 when they violated me.
Gotcha.
All right. So, like my officer was telling you, the reason you're in handcuffs, I wasn't up there, but I guess you got belligerent or not aggressive. I understand you're upset. I understand you're upset. You're ready to get home, okay? But
well, it looks like they've already had a chance to coach their superior here with the narrative. I mean, he just characterized this guy as being belligerent. When did we see anything even remotely belligerent? This guy's been calm and compliant the entire time. The only thing he didn't do was answer questions that he didn't have to. And then they eventually got all the information out of him anyway.
put you in handcuffs, just precautionary so nothing escalates. Like I said, we have a canine on the way. They should be here in a couple minutes. We'll run the vehicle. And if the canine doesn't alert on the vehicle, we'll get you out of here with a warning. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Here we are again, extending the traffic stop. Now the supervisor is directly participating in this behavior. This is very clearly prolonging the stop beyond the mission of the traffic stop. I mean, we're here for an expired tag, and now this guy is handcuffed in the back of a car, and a dog is on the way to run around his car. You can't get more Rodriguez-y than that, you know?
If it does alert on the vehicle, we'll go from there. Okay. Is there anything inside the vehicle?
No, sir.
I never heard of that.
What?
You can't get a convicted felon from deferred case.
You can. You can. So if you get convicted of it, like you were saying, tampering with evidence, they'll convict you of it. They'll give you like 5 years probation, but you're still a convicted felon. So because you got convicted of it.
It blows my mind that this is the first time this cop is learning about this. It makes me wonder, how long has this guy been a cop? Thinking that every time he charges someone with a felony, that they are facing prison time. It makes you wonder, like, what the pretext for a lot of those felonies might have been. He's thinking, oh, I got a ticket for you right to prison. You fucking idiot.
That's the first. Bro. Nah, bro. When I hear convicted felon, I'm thinking conviction of the felony crime that they were prosecuted on.
No.
Yeah, that
So
is
if
what
you
it
get fired
is.
probation-
That is what it is, dude. That is what happens. It just means that you don't have to go to prison. You don't have to go to prison after that whole process. So you understand what it means, but you don't get the whole process that comes after police interactions.
He's convicted felon.
Yep. If you get convicted of a crime, yeah.
Gotcha.
So, I walk up. As soon as I get there, he's acting kind of crazy. We have him detained out in the back seat because he got belligerent. He has a look to him, cotton mouth, white, residue, kind of funny. Says there's nothing in the vehicle. Does not give us consent. When I asked if the dog's going to alert on it, he said he shouldn't, and then corrects himself and says he won't. So.
Did I hear prior code one or?
No, so no prior code ones. He said the only thing he got convicted of was tampering with evidence. So that's
Okay.
Mohawk asks if I would look at a video from another country. I mean, I would watch it, but I don't know what I could add to it because I'm not familiar with any other country's legal system except for America's. So that's why I don't cover that stuff on ATA or talk about it much here. I don't have anything meaningful to add.
Oh, she's looking at the game right now, huh?
Mm-hmm. She texted me. She's like, hey, if you need me to
Yo, shout out to Wrights Crispy. Thanks for jumping in here, dude. Appreciate it. Good to have a legend in the chat.
Hey. Perfect timing. She has a dual purpose dog?
No, she got just a drug dog.
Drug dog.
Keep in mind, guys, this is a 3-stripe sergeant here allowing this to happen, participating in it, and thinking that this is okay and normal.
Hey, what is this dog getting convicted of? Okay. What about prior arrest?
All right, let's take bets on the dog alert. I feel like there's 100% chance that this dog is going to alert on the vehicle. You know what might be a way to... Well, never mind. That's a stupid idea. I'm not even going to say it.
All right, I'll appreciate it. So he got arrested for marijuana in 2011, but didn't get convicted. All the conviction he's had is tampering.
That's a good one. That was a good one.
You're on it today, Lorraine. That's a good point. That's right. The internet's fucked. Today's the new revolution in internet history.
thought I saw residue on the fucking cup holder.
Well, he has like I don't know if he knows, but the white powder on his tongue, and he has cotton mouth.
So now we see a white powder on his tongue and he has cotton mouth. Okay. How's the lawsuit going? It's going, dude. We're full steam ahead. Prepare yourselves.
I didn't pat his balls quite much. I just fished with weapons, but
He gave me a little change of behavior, but he didn't do much.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What did she say?
A little change of behavior, but he didn't do much.
A little change in behavior. Is that where we're at with dogs nowadays? Dogs. It's just now it's just a spectrum of potential signs. So what are we saying? That look, dogs need to be an alert or not an alert. Okay? An alert or not an alert. We can't have this like, oh, well, he's acting kind of weird, so maybe, I don't know. You know, like that's basically what she just said. What the hell? It needs to be yes or no. Did it alert or did it not alert? And if it did, then we need to go. If it didn't, we don't. We can't have this like subjective spectrum of possible behavior changes that might affect any given variable that presents itself during a traffic stop. Like, come on.
appreciate you.
Also, there's a dead deer right there, so don't step on it.
Dead deer?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
That's what I smelled.
That would be something I would point out if I were this guy's defense. There was a dead deer present. Could that be a variable that activated the weird behavior of the dog? I mean, come on. Come on. Exactly, Thomas.
You can turn around. All right, so like I said, just a warning tonight. The dog didn't alert on the vehicle, so we're not going to search the vehicle. Okay, you didn't give us consent.
Well, I think she didn't say that the weird behavior was related to the vehicle being sniffed. She just said he had weird behavior and that he didn't really alert. So I guess I give it to her for being honest. She didn't tell a lie. So I appreciate that.
You definitely need to get your registration renewed, man. Like that should be
Brother,
top priority. Okay?
I'm to the point right now where it's about to probably end up happening with. I'm about to take the motor and transmission out the truck and put it in something that's not running, buy something different that has something that I don't have to do with that, because
That is a legitimate way to do it. And I like that idea. If he's really struggling with the title, which like I said earlier, I really think that there's a way around that. Yeah, just pull the motor and the transmission out and put it in something that does work, that does have a title, that would be easily titled, or something old enough to where you don't need a title.
I've called down to Houston, and you have to be like next of kin or some type of relation. And I'm not going to lie and say like, oh yeah, I'm related and all. You know, I'm not doing none of that because I don't want nothing to.
Yeah, but like I said, you could just say the title is lost, and now that the person who it belongs to is dead, they won't be able to contest that. But also, surely there's been something done about whoever died, and who actually gets their belongings. So I think what's happening here is they figured out that in order for them to sell the vehicle, they're going to need to send the title off, get it put in the daughter's name, who's probably the new owner of the vehicle, and then, circle back around to the sale later. It'd probably take months. So yeah.
Come back on me.
I could try going the like bonded title route.
That's a good point. it could very well also be in probate. That's a really good point.
I've never done it by the title. Anything I've ever had, I've never had a problem with the title. And that truck actually sat parked in my yard for, probably a year and a half. I drove a little gray Nissan that was fully in my name and everything. And didn't have no problems, but then I ended up getting rid of it because I didn't need it. And I started using that truck more. And I put insurance and everything on it, and I never, by the time I started getting ready to do stuff to the title and stuff, that's when I figured
On
out
the
that
title would be a good idea as well.
It's been ongoing, but
I think we got the gist of this video. They let him go, it appears. Well, that was interesting. It was pretty silly to find out that that cop didn't understand what a felony was or how felonies are treated in the court system. He must be new. That's the only thing I can think, because no way he went years of doing this without figuring that out somewhere along the way. Did I see that Matthew Furman got arrested? The Michigan cop that has been charged for his illegal arrests before and got off. Are you talking about the guy that Southern Draw Law covered? Because I think so. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, he not only did he answer all their questions, he complied with the getting out. He did everything right. I don't know where they got this combative, argumentative bullshit from. But yeah, I did see that video. The civil rights lawyer covered him as well. Oh, okay. Yeah, like I think I've told you guys this before, but I don't watch a lot of bigger creators because I just don't have time to. You know, most of my time spent watching internet stuff is body camera footage from that the other people in my space haven't already covered. I try to keep it as fresh as I can when it comes to stuff like that. All right. I think to wrap this up, we only got a few minutes left. And since we had that interruption that was really freaking annoying, we could do a little Q&A or something like that. If you guys want to ask me some questions, I'll answer it. It feels a little cringy to say, let's do a Q&A. It kind of makes me feel pretentious in a way. But the reason I think I'm doing this is because I know that there's been a lot of people ask me questions in the chat that I just haven't had the time to get to. So you can ask me anything about anything right now if you want to. I'll be paying attention to the chat and I'll try to answer as many questions as I can. Yeah. Don't make me invoke my right to silence. All right. And don't ask me about my lawsuit. I can't talk about it right now. I got to keep it all secret. Audit the alien. Yeah. I mean, I would love to do an audit the alien, or, something to that effect, or an audit the auto. That would also be a really fucking awesome channel. But I think what I'm going to do instead is, so I'm going to do membership stuff on this channel soon. And I think that part of the membership stuff will be largely, me talking about a lot of the other things I want to do and doing a lot of the other things I want to do and taking you guys along with me. So, I was talking about doing sim racing. I'd love to go live and do that and hang out with you guys while I'm doing that. And then maybe even go to the track one day and streaming that live. I'm not going to necessarily paywall aliens. Trust me, I'm not going to make any dedicated videos about aliens on this channel or any of my other channels. So you won't be missing out on necessarily my alien takes. I'm sure those will still come out in the middle of the streams, but I guess I'm kind of just doing this for the people that really want to get to know me as a person beyond just my opinions as an online commentator, but we'll see how it goes. I don't know what kind of form or fashion. That's why I haven't done channel memberships yet, is because I want to make sure it's worth your money. I don't want it to be just like lazy slop bullshit that you don't even care about and that you're only paying this to support me. I want it to be also worth your time, you know? Yeah, see, like Rights Crispy says he's thinking about streaming GeoGuessr games. Like, you know, everybody in this space has other shit that they want to talk about too, you know? Poll who wants an alien channel from me. Honestly, you guys might not like a lot of my alien takes because I tend to be pretty grounded and realistic about what I think about that. So I'm not sure. It would be a lot of debunking, I'll say that, but also a lot of open-minded discussion as well, you know. Kung Fu Grip. If the police engage in a consensual encounter and start asking questions, can a person lawfully just make nonsense answers? Absolutely. You do not have to engage in the dialogue whatsoever if you don't want to. Oh, what's up? Bull roast? Am I interested in the paranormal? If so, play some Phasmophobia live just for fun. I'm not really interested in the paranormal too much because I'm not a very spiritual person. I have been on a bit more of a spiritual journey recently, but not with any organized religion. I'm saying spiritual for like intentionally, you know what I mean? So, I mean, but I wouldn't be opposed to playing some Phasmophobia. That game is fun anyway. Yes, I am pissed at the aliens that they haven't probed me yet. It's frustrating. They're getting sued too. Audit the acoustic channel. Yeah, right. I'm not nearly good enough for that. You have three blogs that have nothing to do with each other. The problem is like my time is so limited. And it's hard for me to justify doing things that aren't productive. You know, I have a real bad problem with that. Catherine asks, how is it legal that cops can mute their body cams? Well, hold on. Let me throw up the disclaimer real quick just to put this up here. Well, it's because there's no law against them doing that. If they were to mute their body cameras, it would be a policy violation, if anything at all. And you know how they treat policy violations. Do I think if more people were able to sue at an alarming rate that police would change in America? Nope, I don't think it would. I think that would just cause a big backlog of cases. I don't think it would really have a meaningful effect on law enforcement. Yeah, we're the aliens. I don't know. I mean, that's an interesting idea, and I don't think that it's too far out to think that. You seen a video about a guy recording the Lockheed Martin Skunks division? I mean, I'd have to see that to determine the legitimacy of it, but you know, most of the shit like that that's just posted by random guys on the internet is difficult to take seriously. Absolutely, Catherine. Pleasure to answer your question. Insurance companies are largely the answer to that. I would agree. Oh, end qualified immunity and indemnification. Only thing that will fix policing. Yeah, I mean, those are legitimate things. I think that ending qualified immunity will definitely have an effect, a direct effect. But again, I don't necessarily think that qualified immunity is a terrible legal doctrine. It's just being misapplied like at an insanely alarming rate. Socksmith asks, what's my opinion to a legal precedent in history? Any particular argument or philosophy that I'm fond of? Well, it's a really dense topic, you know, and there's a lot of voices to be heard in that space. And I think that even within the pro-Second Amendment movement, that there's not necessarily a consensus on, you know, the interpretations of the Second Amendment and, you know, the SCOTUS viewpoint on it. So, but to put it simply, I guess I believe that the Second Amendment does give you the right to carry a firearm. I think that the way that it has been interpreted is largely correct, and that if we were to apply the implication, like what the spirit of the Second Amendment was supposed to capture when it was written into the Constitution, I think it looks a lot like it does now in a modern society, with the exception of everyone being treated like a criminal for carrying a weapon. So the practical enforcement aspects of it, I think, are really fucked up. But the way the courts have treated it generally, I think, has been pretty fair and correct. So I agree with the Second Amendment. I like the right to bear arms, and I believe that the Second Amendment does grant the citizens of this country the right to have a weapon, a firearm. Thanks for stopping in, Ms. Lorraine. Appreciate your contributions to the chat today. Do you think third parties should handle internal affairs? And if so, do you think those third parties should do regular reviews on police departments in their district? Now, we've talked about this a little bit in the past, but I've said this whimsical idea of, why don't we get rid of these federal agencies that we don't fucking need, that aren't really doing shit but perpetuating more and more crime? And I pointed out the DEA as a prime example of a federal law enforcement agency that I don't think we need, that we could dedicate all of their funds to a federal accountability agency, if you will. And that might be a much better use of our tax dollars than the DEA ever was and ever could be. So that's my take. Yes, I do think that third parties should handle internal affairs, and it would be great if it was an agency that was totally divorced from the local department that they're investigating. Dave Mid asks, are police becoming more aware of rights and wrongs of policing because of channels like yours? Now, I'm going to try to say this without being a narcissistic asshole and just a pretentious fuckhead, because it would be really easy to say yes to this. And that is what I'm going to say. But I would like to say that it's not just me or channel or even just YouTube. I think that the internet has facilitated the collective consciousness of our society to be more aware of this kind of shit. I mean, we're just exposed to more bad police than we ever have been in the history of our country. So that's definitely a contributing factor. Do I think that ATA and the First Amendment auditing community have contributed to that in some way? Sure. But maybe not in as meaningful of a way as just being exposed to the fact that there are bad cops. Because I'm sure there's plenty of people that have come to that realization without ever knowing about my content or the First Amendment community at all. So I like to think that I've contributed to that, but I don't think that I could make that claim legitimately, especially not on my own. So yeah, there's your answer to that. Direct D's taking notes, everybody. Just be careful what you say. I heard he's a snitch. Michelle, are you familiar with security camera laws and when it is considered abusive use of them and recording in two-party consent states? Well, the two-party thing, I'll tackle that first. It's very different depending on the state. Even the two-party concept can be different from state to state. Like what actually constitutes consent from two parties can be different. So there's no universal answer for, when is someone abusing consent laws? And it just is so highly circumstantial that it's impossible for me to give you a legitimate answer to that part of your question. But as far as the security cameras go, the general consensus, as far as I understand, is that anywhere that your eyes can see, a security camera can be. And it would be it's your burden to keep out what you don't want the public to see, just as much as it is the government's burden to do the very same thing. Now, are there highly specific circumstances where a court might view that differently, or there may be specific laws that are violated that are parallel to that kind of behavior? That could certainly be the case. But generally, I would imagine that anywhere your eyes can go, a camera can go. Yeah, I'm still alive, Steve. I'm still live, and we're building our case. Here's my question. If you're in Florida, why do you operate on CST? I tried because, Florida is Eastern, but the reason is because I felt like it was more middle ground for both time zones than Eastern. Because like if I were to just base it on Eastern time, then it's going to be a much earlier for the Western timers. So I just put it in Central so that both of them have to do the same amount of math to figure it out. You know? If lawsuits were paid from personal pensions, that might be different. Yeah, it certainly would. But you got to remember that they're operating under the color of law here. So they're in effect, they're essentially the government, not a person, when they're a law enforcement officer. So that's why that'll probably never happen, because they're not operating in their private capacity. They're operating on the behalf of the authority of the government. I don't want to tell you where in Florida, Fairlane. I can't say that. In Nashville. Part of the Panhandle is on CST. Yeah, that's right. I knew that because I used to visit South Alabama when I lived there, and you can, drive to Florida from where I was without changing time zones. No problem, Michelle. You have a neighbor that's virtually stalking with surveillance cameras. Put up some blinds. That's all I can say is put up some blinds, because that's really the only thing you can do, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm from Mango Park, Florida. I'm going to start telling people that. That's a good idea, Freeman. Or no, wait, who said that? God, these go by so fast. David. Yeah, thanks, David. That's a good one. I'm going to start using that. How do I feel about the internal affairs report about Long Island audit? I saw that video that he had done that live. And for those of you who don't know, Long Island audit, Sean, he went live to discuss an internal affairs report that was drafted about his encounter with Brian Fahey. But it was an hour and 46 minutes long, and I just don't have that much time to dedicate to that video. I wish I did, but I got too much work to do to sit around and watch a video that long. I'll probably have it playing in the background at some point today, I'm sure. You have all your windows covered with privacy film. That's good. That's about as far as you can go with it, based on what I know so far, Michelle. As far with security camera anyway. But if they're harassing you, go file a restraining order against them or get a court injunction, document what you believe to be stalking and take it to the court. It won't cost you. I think it's like $30 or something like that to do that. And it's going to be different depending on where you're at, but that is an option for you. Y'all are all right. We don't have to throw back to Flow Rider references now. We're showing our age. All right. Any more questions before I end this live? I got to take a piss, so If you got any questions, get them in now, because I'm about to probably hop off here pretty soon. Infrared lights is an option too. I don't know if you'd looked into that at all, Michelle, but generally you can blind a security camera with an infrared light. And these lights cannot be seen by the human eye. They are only seen on camera. As a matter of fact, they sell these little clips that you can buy for when you wear, if you're wearing a hat, it'll emit an ultraviolet light and it'll block your face from a camera. So if you can't get one for your yard, you could at least get one for your face when you walk outside. Privacy tent during the day. IR nights at light. Where do you get those? You just go on Amazon and look up IR light. And you should, I'm sure that a listing will pop up for one. Oh, is Otto here? Oh, what's up? Welcome, Otto. For those of you who don't know, Otto is a fantastic auditor. And somehow the video I covered it has got like millions of views. I don't know why or how that happened. I don't know. But hey, more people that saw it, the better, I guess. Shout out to Otto for relaunching the John Lang channel in a lot of ways. Thanks for that, brother. Fantastic work, by the way. If you guys haven't seen Otto, I mean, I put him on when we did the First Amendment auditor tier list. You remember he was like he was very high up there. So much respect. Thanks for joining the chat, dude. All right. Well, that video introduced you to his work. That's what's up. Glad that I could participate in him becoming more well known. Because he deserves it. He deserves the recognition. I guess I'm going to wrap it up here, ladies and gentlemen. I got to get started drafting up my lawsuit against the internet, or else no one's going to pay for the hell that it caused me today. And all of you. You know? So I'm going to go start filing a lawsuit, and I expect all my paralegals to send me emails about all the notes we took today. All of you guys, you know who you are. Send me your invoices. Glad I could help, Michelle. I hope you can get, is Bob Lazar legit? No, I don't think Bob Lazar is legit. I'll end it on that. That's a good question. That's a good question to wrap up the alien thing and leave you guys on a cliffhanger, because I know a lot of people give Bob Lazar a lot of credit, and that'll give you guys something to think about if you're interested in hearing my takes on aliens. So, all right, everybody. Thomas, Daniel, Pinball, PF, Dennis, Catherine, Sandy, Fairlane, One Man in Japan, Freeman, thank you all for being here. We'll be back Tuesday, and I promise, I swear, I got something planned for Tuesday. I'm going to try my best to do it on Tuesday. And also, well, never mind. Not an also. I'm going to save that for later. All right. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Thank you for following me from one failed stream to another kind of working stream. We'll see you on Tuesday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, whatever that is for you. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for being here. And till the next one. Cheers.